Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to create this summer vibe look, and I also wanted to try out and show you guys 3 new products that I picked up from e.l.f. So they're not brand new, but newer to me, newer to the stores in my city. Instead of ordering it, I picked them up in store. So I tried out the eyeshadow or eyebrow quad from e.l.f. I picked this up in the dark brown shade. I also picked up the e.l.f. putty blush and the e.l.f. putty bronzer. I have it in Tan Line and Bora Bora. So I use these 3 products along with using a full face of e.l.f. to create this look. So if it is something that you are interested in watching and seeing how I created this look and what my thoughts on the products are, then just keep watching. If you hear any background noise, it is just my kids. They are hanging out in their room. So since I am trying out some e.l.f. products today, I wanted to try and use mainly e.l.f. products for the rest of my look. So I'm going to go in with the Flawless Satin foundation from e.l.f. and I have this in the shade Vanilla, and it really gives you that true satin finish. It's not too heavy, blends into the skin really nicely. I really like this foundation. I was using it a lot when I first got it, but now I'm just using my Bounce one because it's just such a gorgeous skin tint. This is a little bit heavier, a little bit more on the foundation side as opposed to a skin tint. So I'll just blend that in. This is what it looks like. Just blend it out on the skin. It just gives you this nice soft look to your face. The camera plays it up to be a little bit lighter than it is. My skin looks a little bit darker, but it just has this nice softness to it. Nothing too dewy and not on the matte side. So now I think I will go in with the concealer first. I was doing my cream bronzer, cream contours first, but because you don't get a lot of pigment with the balm, with the putty, it's not a balm, I think I'll go in with the concealer first. So I'm just going in with my concealer, and I have just been keeping it to the inner corners lately, not putting anything on the outside. I don't want to add more product to just the crow's feet and just the outer part of my eye. This is where I want brightness, so I'm just keeping it there. And I'll just lightly blend it down and then spread it out. And I just went in with the Camo Concealer in the shade Light Beige. And this also has a satin finish, so it just pairs so nicely with the foundation. Now I'm going to go in with my brows. So I was really pleasantly surprised with this product. I got the little bite-size eyeshadow product. I picked this up at Old Navy. I got it in dark brown. I thought that, so the wax, I thought that was the clear wax was the only wax in it, and this was going to be more like a dip brow, like a pomade that would have more pigment to it, but it isn't. It's a light, like it's a wax, so the pigment comes out really lightly. You just get this light brown, and it just kind of is to hold the brows in place. And what I like to do when I have something like that is pair that with the shadow product, and that will just kind of deepen the shadow product. So you're not going to get those nice hair-like strokes with this product, but it will fill in the brows nicely and it lasts. I was worried about the longevity, but when I washed it off that night, like you saw it still there. After I used soap and water, you could still see it's there, so it holds out really well. And I found that You could go in a little thicker with your brows too, because it is a powder. It wasn't so harsh. So I'll do one brow on camera just to show you what it looks like, and then I'll just fill them in off camera, the rest of them. So I'm going to start with the darker pomade and an angled brush and just kind of place it where I want the powder to stay nicely. So you can see that there isn't much pigment there. I thought I was going to get this dark brown pigment, but you don't. So could be good for some, not so good for others. It's just the product is not what I thought it was going to be, but I still was pleasantly surprised with how well it lasted. So I'm just gonna go in with the more neutral, darker tone. This is too warm for my brows, but once you do that over the pomade, it just fills in nicely. It holds the powder in place. It's kind of like glue, I guess, for where you want the powder to stay. So I really like the color. Just gives you a softer look to your brow. So I will go in with a pen, a brow pen, or even the other brow product, brow pencil from e.l.f, just to give some more definition. But it's a beautiful color. It's a beautiful shade. You just get a softer powder brow. But it actually, what I was most surprised with was how long the product lasts. So this is just using the darker wax, and there is going to be some powder on the brow, so see, you're not getting that much pigment till you go in with the powder. So if you like a powder eyeshadow, like brow, you will love this product. It lasts so nicely. All right, so this is my brows finished with just using the little bite-sized palette, so just powder and the wax that it comes with, and I think that they turn out really nicely. Like, they're just a softer looking brow. You're not getting hair-like strokes, but I think it just lets my own natural brow show through and just fills in the gaps that I have. A lot of gaps that I have, but you still see my natural brow, so you just get that softer effect to the eye. Now let's go into the putty bronzer. So this was my mistake, I think, is that I got the shade that was too light. This is, I think, the lightest shade in the collection. In the putty bronzer collection is Tan Lines. I just liked that it had a more neutral undertone to it. The darker the shades got, the more golden they got, golden reddish undertone. So looking at it in the pan, I thought that it would be dark enough, but it is such a light formula that you don't get a lot of pigment. So the best way I found to use this is with your fingers. A brush doesn't pick up enough pigment. I think if I get it in a darker shade, it will pick up enough pigment with the brush, but I have to go in with my finger just to get enough product. But what I can say about it, trying it out, is that it goes on like this. I said balm because that's what it feels like, a balm feeling, balm putty feeling, but it dries down to like a powder. Sometimes you get with cream bronzers that they stay emollient, they stay more of that cream consistency. You set them with powder because you don't want them to move anywhere. But this I find like dries down to kind of a powdery feeling. So I'll just see if I could swatch it. So yeah, you don't get, like, it's just not dark enough for me, especially with a tan right now, but it just sets right into place. You can feel it right after you touch it. Like, after you lay it down, it just gets this soft, powdery feeling on the skin. So I go in with my finger quick enough, maybe I'll just do one spot at a time and then get a brush and just blend it out. But yeah, I wish I had it in a darker shade because then I think that it would work a lot better. Maybe if they came out with a few more shades, it would be a lot better for most people. I haven't seen like a lot of awesome reviews on the putty bronzer, so I think that's might be one of the issues. But I have seen a lot of good reviews on the putty blush, so I'm excited to try that. That I didn't try. I did want to try the bronzer out first. I was curious to see what it would look like. But like I said, if it had it in a different shade and I could just go from brush to skin with it, like see, I want to, my instinct is to kind of put the brush in there. I think I would get better coverage. And again, on camera, it's looking lighter than it is in person. It really is. I'm getting some depth and some bronziness to the skin, but this ring light is just washing me out a little bit. And because it's so rainy out, I have to use the light in my bedroom. And yeah, but it's not picking up the product. It's not messing with the foundation or the concealer underneath. You don't get a lot of pigment with this, especially not on camera. In person, you're just getting, like, I'm just kind of deepening my foundation, it seems like, not getting too much of a bronzed look. Looks really natural. Again, I just love the way that it sets down, that you don't have that balmy, tacky feeling to the skin. I can't stand that. All right, I'm just gonna go in with my little e.l.f. contour palette and just pick up some of the bronzer shade just to kind of give a little bit more depth to the putty bronzer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try out the putty bronzer on my eyes just to see if we can get like a cream shadow going on. This might actually work as like the best case scenario for this product for me, is just use this one as a cream base for eyeshadow. So just go in with an eyeshadow brush and try to blend it up on the crease. Yeah, this might be what this is useful for me, is just to use it as a cream eyeshadow. And just go under the eye. Now I'm going to go in with the little quad in the shade Truffle, and because this color is so similar to the putty bronzer, I'm just going to go over top of that and just, it's going to just increase the depth of the product, and it just will blend out really nicely. Just use it as a nice kind of base on the eye, and then this is just blending out really nicely just to give some more depth and color. All right, now to try the putty blush. So I got it in the shade Bora Bora. This nice bright pink color. If I like the product, I will definitely pick it up in some other shades as well. If it's got that same kind of consistency as the putty bronzer, where it just dries down really nicely. Starts out as the cream formula, but then dries down. So yeah, this is a bright pink. I don't think we'll get that kind of depth and saturation from it, but in the pan it looks really, really pretty. So should I try out, maybe I'll try it out with a brush first. So I'm just gonna take this flat foundation brush and see how that looks. Okay, so you're actually getting more pigment from the blush than the bronzer, and I think this is why everyone loves the blush and says it's such a hit, is because it has more pigment. And that is a really pretty baby pink. For it to come out this bright, kind of on a tan or over bronzer, it's got some nice pigment to it. So this just gives you a really pretty flushed pinky look. Super pretty. Even more pretty in person. It looks a lot more baby pink on camera. In person, it's just giving me this like little sun-kissed vibe. So I just put on some mascara and eyeliner. Now I'm going to go in with my lips, and I'm going to use the Hydrating Core Lip Shine in this nice orange color. I think it's called Cherry Joyful. So we'll see how that kind of pairs with this pinky blush we got going on. Yes, very beachy, very summertime. I don't know why this even has the word cherry in it, because it is like orange. Be like mandarin, tangerine, I don't know. Definitely not cherry. This is the final look using a full face of e.l.f. I love the way it turned out. I think the orange coral goes really pretty with the baby pink blush. So definitely the star of the show is the blush. It is true to the love that it's been getting. I feel like it gets great reviews. Very pigmented, very beautiful. Same kind of texture as the bronzer putty, where it just dries down and it's not overly glossy and balmy. I'm not about that. That just like your hair sticks to your face, especially during the heat. It's just, you don't want that added feeling at all. So found a secondary use for the bronzer that is too light. Use it on your eyes. Use it as a cream eyeshadow. Use it as an eyeshadow base. I think those two shades paired so nicely together and just gave me this like bronzed eye look that I'm here for. And because it dries down so nicely, again, you're not getting that creamy, overly goopy feeling on your eyes. So I definitely want to try it out in a darker shade. I think I will get better results, or not. Maybe it's just not pigmented enough as a bronzer, and that's what people's beef is with it. My brows look beautiful. I love them. It's making me fall in love again with having a powder brow as opposed to using like the ink, the pens. I think it looks really pretty. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and my little review on those products, and I will see you guys again soon.